you know how to become a millionaire with winemaking, you have to start as a billionaire.
That's a good one.
My husband is from the Andrea Doge family, and we are all very proud of these roots. The natural wines, we do not add any sulfites, only the sulfites which are
You
on
don't
the
have
grapes.
headache in the morning.
You can drink a little bit more, maybe not too much.
No, I did not. I hope I did not.
I'm old enough to go in
I'm
pension.
thinking about my legacy. So yeah.
My future I see in my garden. We are just over there at the bottom of the vineyard. Look from the terrace on the vineyard and call in asking what is happening in the company.
Buongiorno, buonasera, wherever you are. I'm Jane Greaves, and we're in the stunning area, Umbria. They call it the heart of Italy. We're visiting a vineyard. It's called I Girasoli di Sant'Andrea, which is translated the sunflowers of Saint Andrea. And I've asked the owner, Ursula Gritti, to talk to us about her wines. Let's go. Ursula, thank you so much for inviting us to your beautiful place, and if you can just tell us about your business, how it started.
Of course.
Yeah.
First of all, chin chin,
Chin
and
chin.
or salute.
Salute.
And thank you very much for coming.
Okay.
You're very welcome. It's quite a long story because I'm German. You might hear exactly immediately the accent.
not at all.
I'm from Bavaria and my husband was from Venice. So we came here basically to buy a house for the vacation.
And it was 1994.
That
right?
was 1994 when my son was born. So my husband bought shares in a company in Umbria. This is how we came basically in contact with that valley. And so he thought that the valley was very
Picturesque.
yes, exactly. It looked like a little bit a Bavarian valley, and so he thought, Ursula, we have to move, or we have to get a house for the vacation. It's a super nice area, and so 2 weeks later he bought the house. But I didn't expect two super big farmhouses, old farmhouses, to be redone. When I saw them for the first time, I told my husband, Carlo, you're crazy. This is not for the vacation. Now we have to move here. It's much too big, and it probably will be lovely for our boy. Soon after, I was pregnant again with my
Son.
daughter.
Daughter.
The firstborn is my son. Then my daughter was on her way. In the meantime, we did all the works in the house. 1 week after the birth of my daughter, we moved over. And
You're a
then,
hero. That's a lot of work.
yeah, that was a lot of work, exactly. But then when we came here, my husband, who was from Venice, so a very dynamic, volcanic man, he thought he had the idea to put down some vineyards because we like wine. So he bought some more land.
Yes.
And I thought, okay, 1-2 hectares, that's fun. Let's learn about. He put down 40 hectares. Every year 3-4 hectares, which is a lot, especially for people who are not coming from the business. I was in finance and my husband was an agent for big companies. So every year we put down 3-4 hectares. Obviously we needed the help of consultants, agronomists who teach us which kind of clone, which kind of variety of wine. So we opted for some traditional grapes. We have
Traditional grapes, which are they?
the very typical Umbrian grapes because we are 500 meters from Tuscany, but we are in Umbria. Is Ciliegiolo, is the Malvasia Nera, is the Grechetto. So we put down the very typical Umbrian grapes and a little bit of international grapes like Syrah, Merlot, because you need Merlot for blending a little bit your red wines, your Sangiovese, which is very tannic. Then in 2003, unfortunately, my husband got cancer and died in 2006. And so the children were still quite small. And I had the chance or to sell or to stay and continue.
It's very,
it was at the beginning practically. And then I had some naughty offers and I thought, okay, no, let's try. and the children were very much, they loved their father, and they were very much attached to their home here. And so I tried to create a local market, and with a lot of sleepless nights, I at least didn't go down. So I survived for a lot of years until I understood that Andrea and Pilar, my son and my daughter, would like to step into the business. So 2019, they did university in Perugia, both. So Andrea...
Enology, right? That's called the science of winemaking?
Exactly. The agronomy university, which is a very well-known one, maybe the most well-known one in Italy. And so Andrea did that, and my daughter did languages and business. And so 2019, they asked me whether they could join the company. My son was already in the company before, working with all the machineries, which was very difficult for me, but he loved that, so that was perfect for me. And 2019, they created their own wine line, Andrea Pilar, so Andrea my son, Pilar my daughter, their own natural wine line.
Are the standards a little bit different for natural organic wines than...
So the farm is completely organic. All the wines, the classic wines, the natural wines, and our olive growth. We have 40 hectares of wine, so of vineyards, and 14 of olive growth.
So you make your own olive oil?
We do our own olive oil, and we have our own olive mill. And all the products we produce in the farm are organic. The difference between the natural and the classic wines are basically that the natural wines, we do not add any sulfates, only the sulfates which are on the grapes.
You don't have headache in the morning.
You can drink a little bit more, maybe not too much, because the alcohol is as well one factor for headache, but yes. So they are for people who have an allergy against, which is quite common, sulfates. They can drink those wines. The classic line is matured in oak, so we have the little bit more full body wines. The natural wines are easy drinking. Obviously, sulfates are preservatives. That means that natural wines are not as long lasting as the classic wine line.
What's the shelf life?
Of natural wines, more or less 5 years.
Ursula, I read something about Italian wines, that there is a classification, there are actually two of them. One is DOC, the other one DOCG, and it's very important for winemakers to achieve that certification. Can you shed some light on it?
Yes, no, it is very important, especially if you are in an area that the DOC or the DOCG is very important. So we are in an area here, Umbria, Alta Valle, so the high Tiber Valley, and we have a DOCG, and all the vineyards are certified. We don't really use it because there are some restrictions, so you have to follow some rules. For example, for blending, you can only use a certain recipe for blending. We have the EGT, which is another certification.
Standards,
No,
right?
that is slightly under the DOC. But for us it was important, as we are from a wine area which is not so well known, that people understand that the wine is from Umbria. So we declassify in the cellar our wines from DOC, which would be wine DOC of the high Tiber Valley, nobody would know where that is, to an EGT Umbria. Because if you have an EGT, you mention the region.
Right.
And for us, it was very important to market the region as well, and to speak about the region where the wine is coming from, more than an unknown DOC. It is the DOC very important for very strict disciplinaries. So, for example, for the Brunello, for all the super Tuscan wines, yes, it is. Not for regions where you do not have a really serious DOC.
I see. I must mention that last name Gritti means a lot in Italy. Can you please tell us a little bit about the family?
My husband is from the Andrea Doge
Doge
family. We had an apartment in Venice still over the last 30 years nearly. And we were just in front of the Gritti Palace. So the kids grew up between Umbertide, so here in Umbria, and Venice. And my husband and we are all very proud of these roots. So, and the first wine we produced, the first red wine, we called it Il Doge, with a picture of Andrea, with a painting from Tiziano from Andrea Gritti. We changed the labels when my husband passed away. We changed the labels because it was not very easy to sell those labels in Umbria, and that was our main market because it recorded Venice, but it didn't record Umbria. This was the reason why we changed the labels. We still have them for export, for America, for Germany. We use the Il Doge labels.
And that's why you named your son Andrea, right?
Andrea, frankly said, because we love the name Andrea.
Okay.
And by chance, obviously, Andrea Gritti was one of the most well-known doges.
And the place you bought is also called Sant'Andrea.
Yes, the house where we have the piece of land where our house is called Sant'Andrea. And this is why we called our farm I Girasoli di Sant'Andrea, the sunflowers of Sant'Andrea. We didn't buy the house because the piece of land was Sant'Andrea, but I mean that was a coincidence, which is quite nice. And when we moved here, where now we have planted the vines, we had lots of girasoli, so of sunflowers.
Yes, we noticed that, like, you drive here and just fields and fields of this beautiful sunflowers.
Yellow sunflowers,
yellow
that's true,
sunflowers,
exactly. Yeah. And Umbria was very, or is still very, very famous for it colorful, for the colorful sunflower fields.
How difficult would you say if someone, for example, would like to start the business here? How difficult is, how high the entry barriers? I read that it's really hard. You have to buy a quota from someone who already owns.
Yes, you cannot plant and you can, but you cannot commercialize the wine then. You need first to buy a quote, and then this gives you the permission to put down the vineyard, which you would like, the number of vineyards which you would like to put down, and then you have to prepare you have to spend a lot of money on winemaking. There is a sentence which I think is quite true, not in my case, unfortunately. We started with much less money, but it's quite a funny sentence. If you would, you know how to become a millionaire with winemaking, you have to start as a billionaire.
That's a good one. Yeah.
So, okay, we didn't start as a billionaire.
Right.
This is why I had a lot of sleepless nights, but you need to invest a lot at the beginning. So you need to build up. I mean, you need to take care of your vineyard. It takes 5-6 years until your vineyard gives you the grapes to make serious wines.
I see.
And you have to invest more or less the same money in marketing. Otherwise, you cannot sell 40 hectares. So that means more or less 180,000 bottles. You can't sell them. You have to create a market.
And what's your main business? Is it mainly bulk? We buy a
No,
lot.
bottles.
Bottles, right?
Yes.
How many bottles do you?
160. So between natural wine and the classic line, 30,000 more or less the natural wine. So it's a niche. It's a small production for the natural wine, and the rest is in bottles. So we hand harvest the wines, the grapes which we need for our bottling. We have a harvester machine which we use for the parts of the vineyards we are not so interested in. So we sell the grapes, or we make wine and sell a little bit of bulk wine, but that's not really our business. So that is only for the part of the vineyard we are not really interested in making wine and having it in our cellar.
Now is the season, right? This is the season where you harvest the...
Yes.
Yeah.
That is the clue season. So We started last week with the Pinot Nero, which is the most
Pinot
sensitive
Noir.
one. Exactly, that is the first normally we pick. Then we hand pick that, obviously.
Can I ask you, is
Yes.
it the native? It's not a native grape, Pinot Noir.
No, it's a French grape.
Right.
But it's, I mean,
Is
one
it
of the
easy
most
to-
precious one,
Right.
and the most difficult to, or one of the most difficult ones to grow. So
Right.
it depends really the season. Not every year we produce the Pinot, only in very good years.
This
year,
is a good year?
It is a very good year. Very few grapes, but a very good year, very good quality. So anyhow, you know, we try to keep our growth of the grapes low, because as less grapes you put on the plant, the more energy the plant is giving to the different grapes, and the quality is getting higher.
I see.
So we, on purpose, we cut some of the grapes away and leave only a certain weight of grapes there.
That's interesting. And you mentioned also that you have some wine for export, right? Do you
Yes.
sell it to the U.S.?
Not
Where can we find it in the U.S.?
In the U.S., we are now in contact with an importer. We hope that goes to a good end. My daughter, she was in New York in January on a wine fair,
Okay.
and she had some
It is
good
a
contacts.
wine fair.
Yeah, for natural wines. And so she had good contacts, but everything is a little bit on standby because we do not know how the tax situation is going ahead. So
Okay.
not everybody, people are very reluctant to put in new products. But we had, by chance, an importer here who came in by chance, really, and he loved the wines.
Okay.
And so he
Yeah,
sent some samples
wine is
over.
great, yeah.
And we hope that goes to a good end.
Okay. And to kind of finish it, I wanted to ask you, what would you like your legacy to be?
Oh, I really hope that the children will go ahead, and I always tell them, you know, the problem of a family business is always if two siblings are together, there might be a fight in future. And my husband always told me and them, do not ruin the company if you have a fight. So, because most of the family companies are not surviving because of that, so I'm teaching them every day. I tell them, don't fight, be nice to each other, choose your future partners well.
Right?
And I really hope that they will go ahead with the company. We have over there my last project, which I hope they will continue. We have an old borgo there, an old little village, where the old mill was, and so we would like to a revival of that old village, putting a nice hotel, a nice shop, a nice restaurant, an art gallery. And so
That's
I'm
what they
working on
did
that.
with Brunello Cucinelli, right? They
Yeah, that's true,
revived the
yeah.
whole village
Yeah.
of Solomeo, yeah.
Yeah, which is lovely, exactly. So that is a little bit the future idea. And my future is that, or my will for myself.
Please, I don't mean you're a young person. I hope I did not.
I'm old enough to go in
I'm
pension.
thinking about my legacy, so yeah.
My future I see in my garden. We are just over there at the bottom of the vineyard. Look from the terrace on the vineyard and call in, asking what is happening in the company.
I think the place is in good hands. You have Andrea and Pilar. I think
Yeah, they are
it'll
very
be,
brave.
It'll be going on and on, hopefully for many generations. So thank you so much.
Thank
I
you very
really
much for coming. You were
appreciate it.
very,
Yes.
very, very kind. Thank you very much.